Funky Fitness Now, episode 27, Balance Challenge.
Yeah. Well, like, wonder if I was on this unicycle and I fall over and no one is there to help me, and then I get trapped on this mountain for days on end, and then I have to eat my own leg. It would just be awful.
Welcome to Funky Fitness Now, where every week we take a look at some of the creative, unusual, and crazy things people do to get fit. We have a lot of fun, and occasionally we even learn something. So fasten your weight belt. It's time for Funky Fitness Now. Here are your hosts, Steve Stearns and Jessica Bailey.
Hi, this is Steve Stearns from Outside Health and Fitness, and welcome to Funky Fitness Now, episode number 27. And tonight, it's all about balance. Yeah, it's the life-work balance, and it's the fun, not-so-fun balance, but it's mostly about the balancing your body thing. And speaking of someone that is in perfect balance, my co-host Jessica Bailey from Sassy Girl Fitness NYC.
Hey,
Hey.
I am not in perfect balance, but I want to pretend that I am. So, Okay. Let's call me being in perfect balance.
Sure, why not?
Do you have really good balance?
I have pretty good balance, I think, yeah.
Nice. Do you practice it?
Not really, no. I seem to have been kind of naturally blessed with pretty decent balance. Maybe that will change over time. I don't know.
That's good. Well, make sure you practice your balance, because as you age, we lose it, you know.
Oh, I'm not aging, though. See, that's the thing. I'm going the other way.
Oh, well, perfect. You have found the gift.
Yeah.
Everyone searches for the key to a life of youth.
Yeah.
So there you go.
My balance is improving because I'm getting, younger all the time. So that's how it works.
What was the name of that movie that he reversed? He went backwards, aged backwards. It was a Brad Pitt movie.
Oh, I don't know.
Life or something.
Oh, you talked about that on another episode, I think, didn't you?
Did I? I don't even know why I would talk about it. I've never even seen the movie.
Oh, no, it was one. You talked about one when we were talking about aging where the person didn't age at all. Maybe that was the one I was thinking of.
Oh, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Must have been a really good movie.
Must have been a great movie. Well, this was a pretty interesting concept for this episode. So the idea that we talked about was just, can we find some different things that people do from a kind of a fitness or athletic perspective that takes some sort of a special skill, something that you really kind of can't do this without this skill. And the thing that you and I both picked happened to really be involved with balance, right? You have to have great balance to do these things.
Yeah, and you have to not have the fear of heights or not being scared to do ridiculous things.
Or killing yourself, right. That's right.
That would be good.
The one that I went after was mountain unicycling.
Oh, God. That sounds terrifying.
Yes, it does sound terrifying. Even as someone that, I enjoy mountain biking. I've been mountain biking for years, and I love it. It still sounds terrifying to do that on just one wheel instead of two. So I thought it was quite the extreme sport when I started looking into this thing. But it requires only three things, which is nice. You need a unicycle, a mountain, and then massive balance. And you got it. That's it.
Is it just as it sounds? You take this unicycle and ride it down the side of a mountain?
That's basically it, yeah. Now, there are people that ride them on trails also. So they, just like a mountain bike, it's, you can ride single track trails or you can literally go up and down mountains. But it is pretty amazing what these guys do. And you think about balance, like on a regular bicycle, you are very concerned with side-to-side balance most of the time. A little front and back, but not so much. It's mostly side-to-side. On a unicycle, it's 360 degrees. It's front and back and side-to-side all the time. And I can imagine on a smooth surface, that's going to be really tough. But on a trail or a mountain, it's going to be insane.
Do you train for something like this, or do you just get better the more you do it?
Yeah, I think you just go for it. I found a video of these guys talking about doing this, and they call it Muni, I think is what they call it. M-U-N-I, Muni. So it's kind of like jamming mountain bike and unicycling together. And the guy said, he goes, that the toughest part of this sport is the 10 hours of falling that have to happen in order for you to dial this thing in. You just don't get on a unicycle and just start riding. I mean, you got to fall and crash a bunch of times to figure out where your balance is.
Right, you have to learn how to fall. I would imagine the same is true for skateboarders. Like professional
Right.
skateboarders, they don't just know how to do those tricks. They have to
Yeah.
fall, get up, not be scared to try something new and dangerous.
Yeah, and just keep doing it. The thing that got me about this was it's kind of funny when you watch them do this because they're holding on to the seat like right in front of them because there's nothing else to hold on to. You know, like a bike, you have handlebars. So they're holding right onto the seat. And I guess they do have brakes. They've got like hydraulic brakes on these bikes and big fat tires, but otherwise it's crazy. Is this something that you would try to do? Would you try to do this? Unicycling like on a trail?
No. I have a terrible sense of balance. I have to like really focus on it. And it's really funny because I used to be a professional dancer and balance was something that just came very easy to me.
Yep.
But as I have gotten older, balance is something that is a little bit of a struggle. I mean, it's not terrible, but I have to really focus on it. And I'm also very afraid of being injured. And so
That's an odd fear.
Yeah.
You should see a psychiatrist about that.
Right.
I don't think that's normal.
I should talk to somebody. Yeah. Well, it like wonder if I was on this unicycle and I fall over and no one is there to help me, and then I get trapped on this mountain for days on end, and then I have to eat my own leg. It would just be awful.
Eat your
So
own
I
leg.
just am not going to do it.
And then you would need really good balance because you would have just one leg. Although you could become a waitress at the IHOP.
I could become a waitress at the IHOP.
That didn't help at all. So, you know, the other thing about this unicycling that to me just seems terrible is there's no coasting.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you got to constantly be moving.
Wow. So your legs never stop.
Right. I mean, when I mountain
Wow.
bike, there's a lot of coasting involved. When I'm going down a hill or even if I'm single track, you know, I'll get up enough speed to kind of coast through different obstacles and stuff. I'm not pedaling when I go through those areas. And downhill mountain biking is almost no pedaling, very little. It's mostly coasting. And these guys have to pedal the entire time, all the way down.
Wow. It's a great leg workout.
Yeah.
And your core is engaged the entire time. So
Yep.
that sounds good to me.
Did you find anything very similar to this that didn't involve a wheel?
So I did find something that was very similar. It's called slacklining. Have you ever heard of this?
I have heard of it. Yeah. I actually have this like strange, weird desire to give it a try.
You do? Excellent. You let me know how that goes because it seems really dangerous to me. And I am not sure I could do it. I think I would fall off the rope in like 1 second. I think it would be one of those things that you psych yourself out, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I would not be good.
But you're only a few feet off the ground, right? You're not like, this isn't across buildings or something.
Well, there's a couple of different slacklining, and I'm going to tell you about them.
Okay.
So slacklining is just as it sounds. It's a rope that bends when you put weight on it, and it was designed by these climbers that they used to climb in Yosemite Valley in California, and when they weren't climbing, they took flat nylon webbing and stretched it between two rocky outcroppings over a void, and then learned to walk and balance on this webbing. And so you have to train differently for this sport because two different types of slacklining require different muscles to be used than you would just tightrope walk, right? So there's this type that's called high line, where the lines that you walk on are so high up that you have to wear a harness and have a leash. You have to have a leash attached to the line.
Okay, I don't like that type.
Oh my God. That sounds like terror. I don't think I could even get up there. That's awful. I don't even go skiing for the fact that it's so high up that that would freak me out. No, thank you.
I ski, and I actually haven't done resort skiing for quite a few years just because it's insanely expensive these days. But I used to do it all the time, and even though I was afraid of heights, I was fine with the chairlift and all that stuff. You just kind of get over it. But being like up high on a thin line, I don't think I've got the concentration for that stuff. But aren't these guys, don't they also do like almost like trampoline like tricks on these lines too?
Yeah, so most of the time when you see those kind of tricks, they're on this thing called a long line, and it's an unsteady surface. It's just like everything else where there's a lot of give to it.
Yeah.
So every time you step on it, it moves. And it's actually the most unsteady, so you have to have a lot of core strength to be able to hold yourself up. And yes, those are the ones that they're doing tricks.
It looks really cool, and I think my trick days are far behind me, but even having one of those like just strung up in the backyard, I think would be a pretty amazing workout just to try to get on there and stay balanced, I mean, certainly I wouldn't go way up high where it's dangerous, but, a few feet off the ground.
Yeah. No, I think that a few feet off the ground would be okay because it would be an amazing core workout, right? But an amazing mental workout too. Because you would have to build toughness to be able to stand on this and not get your blood pressure through the roof because you're all stressed out. Yeah.
You could also probably end up in one of those America's Funniest Home Videos if you fell off it and it came up and smacked you right in the groin area,
Yeah, that sounds good.
Doesn't that sound good?
So maybe you should go slacklining in your backyard and have your daughter film you just in case something amazing happens.
Excellent.
I have a video that I found that I will put up in the show notes as well so you can see this because it's hard to visualize what I'm talking about if you don't quite understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to put a video up so you can see it.
Excellent. And I'll have a video of the mountain unicycling as well. I mean, I'm sure that one's a little bit more, it's probably a little easier to imagine, although it's still pretty exciting to watch these guys do it. So, because we've all seen unicycles and we've all seen mountains, so a little bit easier than the slack.
It's very exciting to watch it from my couch.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Exciting.
Fantastic. And if you want to check out those videos, you can stop by funkyfitnessnow.com/27. We'll have a link to those videos and a little snippet of all the stuff that we talked about, including those 5 tips for improving your balance. While you're there, make sure you get our free ebook,
25 Funky Ways to Live Longer.
That's it. Excellent. And it's a very well-balanced book, I think.
I think so, too. We wrote it. I think it's perfect.
Sounds great. I will see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you haven't already, make sure you visit funkyfitnessnow.com for more of the weird, wild, and kooky things people do to stay fit. While you're there, be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter so you never miss an episode. See you next week.